we're gonna start over, but I'm gonna go back to what you just said. Okay, so Deborah, you're looking to rebrand yourself outside of your company. Um, that's your concern. Wang, what is your concern right now? Like what is it that you came?
Oh yeah, thank you for asking. So I wanted to learn how to brand yourself because I've been experimenting with trying to build my own media company. So I just really been trying to figure out how to create a brand, how to market it, how to how to just establish myself as a brand or the company as a brand. So I've just been trying to learn about these things.
Okay, got it. This should be able to help. And just make sure you get this. All of you guys, make sure you download if you don't have it yet. This workbook here because this is going to take you from. This is going to get you pretty far. What you do from there with everything in there, you still have to develop some of it for yourself because everything is customized to you. I mean, sorry, not everything is a one size fits all. You have to customize it to your personality and what you're willing to do and what platform you want to be I guess known on the most. Like some people are like, oh, LinkedIn, some people are Facebook, some people are Instagram. You got to figure that part out too. Whatever your top two or three are going to be. Mark, you got something for me? You want a question to ask?
Yeah, I mean, many questions, but really my challenge is branding myself when I have several different businesses that are from real estate to startup consulting to board sitting on boards. So trying to at this point it's been very stovepipe. I have a couple different profiles that I use. I'd like to figure out how I can have one and not dilute the value that I have in each area.
Yeah, so that goes back to kind of what Deborah was talking about. Like you're the personal branding is going to have to be what stands out. Um, you know, I get this all the time. People are like, well, when I name my company such and such, like, how do I? And I'm like, all right, so don't worry about what you name your company, um, because like whatever your company name is, you can cash checks there, but it doesn't really matter. Like when you put out some kind of big, broad, grand sounding name, there's really no attachment to it, to other people unless you're representing a specific brand. And I guess I'll get into this when we talk about like agents and agent teams, like if you're in a real estate kind of thing. Um, you know, guys, I got to tell you, I'm not normally on my phone like this, but it makes total sense that the one day that a bunch of you guys are in here, they all want to call me at the same time. Everything's an emergency. Everybody's hungry. It's the way the world works. So, Rodney, what about you? What brought you to sort of come to this particular meetup? If you can talk. If not, I'll give you a couple. There you go.
Yeah, give me a couple seconds. Hello, everyone. My name is Rodney, and I'm here in the Hampton, Virginia area. And basically, uh, I look at life is about branding yourself, developing yourself, being the best person, the best version of you that you can possibly be. So, with that being said, anytime and every time I have the opportunity to reach out and see who's doing what, bam, that's where I'm at. And I know you've been promoting on Meetup, and I noticed that you had a session right now today, and I had this opportunity to jump on. So I'm just sitting in the back in the cut, kind of listening to everybody else, figuring out what I can glean from everybody else. That's me.
Okay, guys, give me 5 minutes. I have someone at my door that I got to get rid of real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Actually, you should get to know each other. So hang tight. I'll be right back.
Who's first up?
Hi, good morning, guys. This is Deborah again. I am connecting from Kissimmee, Florida, Central Florida, and like Mark, I have you know different. I am in the real estate funding industry. I've been a business broker for since 2008, off and on. But now I cannot put it out, put it away because I have, you know, um, financial obligations that force me to go back to the workforce. But I am starting over again. Nevertheless, it is kind of hard. I find it's kind of challenging to brand myself, and it is like like Mark, they have different companies, but I want to be able to position myself in that way one knows, okay, the kind of services that I have, but I don't want to lose the value on the other services. So I kind of I understand where you come in, Mark, and I hopefully this training and the upcoming trainings will help me give me some clarity as to like how to move forward or how to position myself better.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, so want to make sure all of you guys have access to this because everything I'm going to talk about, a lot of your questions are covered in here. I'll go through my story real quick, only because it gives you a little context because I don't think I've seen any of you in here before. So, Jason Centeno, I was primarily a wholesaler and more recently, like, did a lot of Airbnb stuff. One of the things as when I grew, 18 years in real estate, actually more, but um, those kind of were my specialties. I did everything fix flip. I'm a landlord, everything else. But when I took it on, I wanted to make sure that whatever I did, it was about family and fun, right? So I kind of, this whole thing came from somebody asking me to go speak at a meeting. And I was like, I don't want to talk about what everybody else talks about. I want to talk about the stuff that's fun to me, and branding is fun. So this is kind of like a brain dump of everything I used to do and kind of a, like almost like a comic book kind of funny thing, but there'll be a lot of value in it. All right. So I, I mixed in like some rap music and some graffiti culture and cartoons and everything that I kind of, that was me growing up. I'm a Latino kid from the inner city, and everything's colorful, vibrant. I was into comic books, into Star Wars figures, geek culture, music, all these things. So how do you really fit all that into a business? Well, here's the thing: you don't. That's you. That's your personality. But you are able to take pieces of that and put it out there to the world. And what I like to call it is kind of like, think of it like you're Clark Kent at home, but then you're a little bit more like Superman online. Like you put on this kind of, it's not a mask, it's not inauthentic. It's just like a better version of you, like a funnier, a more, I guess, well mannered, or more well spoken, because you have time between a keyboard and a picture to actually think a little bit about what you put out there to the world instead of just blab it out. I mean, so think of it this way: this is just you, just a little bit better packaged version of you. But your business is always going to be you. We live in a world where everything was shut down by COVID, and at the end of the day, everybody's working from home. Everybody's used to Zooming and all this other stuff. So you're really not dealing with companies so much anymore. You're going to have to deal with real people. And so why try to cover it up with a big name sounding corporation and all these other things? Yes, that's great for your checks and for your taxes, but on a person to person basis, not so great. So I wanted my real estate business to be about family and fun. So I came up with this nickname, Daddy's Fast Cash. Well, why? Because I was a father, and I liked, and fast cash was a solution to everybody's problem. If you're like a wholesaler, you need fast cash for your house. So I put the two together, created Daddy's Fast Cash in that order, and the reason being is because it was purposely spelled like that because it's easier to Google that. I could get the domain names, and all that kind of comes into play. So as you're thinking about this persona you're going to create, think about all the different Mark Gilberts there out in the world, or Rodneys, or you want to start to think about, like, there's a lot of people out there in the world. How do you differentiate yourself from all the other people with the same name as you? In my case, there's probably more that most people probably know more than a few Jasons. But if I say, oh, it's Daddy's Fast Cash, oh yeah, I know exactly who you are. And so all these characters were kind of like because I was into like you know, and I didn't draw these myself. Just to let you know, I kind of just had the design in my mind and hired it out. But the first one was this guy, and that was like the wholesaler kind of business guy, real estate wholesaler, and I was an agent too, but it was just more like that was the original branding. And then what happened on holidays, I was like, oh, you know, I found this artist. I was like, make me another one. Make me one for, um, you know, Thanksgiving. Make me one for Christmas. Make me one for St. Patty's Day. Make me one for Easter, Halloween. And then I was also a firefighter. So all these things are me, and you're probably way more than one thing too, right? Like you could be a real estate investor that's like into bonsai trees or into cooking or um, whatever. Like there's more pieces to you than just one thing, right? So what I like to tell people is like, hey, take the the thing you're passionate about, like your hobby, or what you stand for, like maybe your cause. Like say you're you know, I'm an adoption advocate, so something to do with that, and then put it into your business so that people think of it like a Reese's peanut butter cut. You know, chocolate and peanut butter once they come together is way better, right? So you're that, like you're taking your a little bit of your personal and you're taking your business and you're making you're mixing them together to make something that didn't really exist before you put those two things together, and that's how you're going to start to stand out. So this was it for me. And you know, Daddy's Fast Cash turned into Dad's Pads when it was apartments, and then into the Dad Next Door, which is the current brand. I talk about how your brand can evolve over time later on in the book, but this is the whole nickname thing where, you know, I kind of go into why you might have a nickname or want a nickname, because it makes you easier to remember, for good reasons and for bad reasons. But the point is, in a world full of people that are scrolling quickly, like boom, 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 a nickname is going to get them to slow down, or they're going to get them to remember you a little bit better. Um, some of this stuff goes into once you kind of get into your when you figure out who you want to be in the marketplace, trying to get your domain names and your Gmail account and your YouTube. But again, you can go back and read this. I'm just going to speed through because we're supposed to be in chapter 5. Also understand that these are all recorded, and you can go back and look at all the other chapter recordings that I go over, and I get and case studies, and I'll take some time for your specific questions, and you can kind of get some of your questions answered by looking at some of those old videos. So that's also available to you on YouTube. It gets uploaded like usually on Sundays, and you can go back and kind of like look at what you might not understand or need some further clarification on. So this is basically going into where I hired the artist from. 99 Designs did this one. I liked it because they kind of do an auction for your business versus Fiverr, where anybody can just come and make an offer. You can do both. With Fiverr, I would normally, I say it here, hire 2 to 4 people, whichever one you like the best, you keep that one. But you know, it's cheap enough where you can test that out, or you can go to 99 Designs, pay. I don't think it's 225 anymore. It might be more, but then you have a whole bunch of people sending you free designs, and you might fall in love with, like, you know, if 8 people send you something, you got a way better chance of finding something you like. And that's what happened with me. And then I ended up hiring the guy off platform to do stuff for many, many, many years. And I still go back to him whenever I need something like for fun. So yeah, story is important. In building your brand, as I said, whatever your cause is, whatever your passion is, um, you're gonna want to have some, like this is where people are attracted to you from. My particular one, I have a bigger why, right? So my big why of why I do all this, why I do this recording, why I associate myself with the Alchemist Nation and help them with everything, why I develop apps, I and work with data, you know, entrepreneurs and data entrepreneurs and business consulting and all these other things, is because ultimately I want to affect people's lives in a way where they would be motivated to adopt a child after I've helped them become financially free. So the way I say that to myself is I want to be instrumental in the adoption of 100 kids before I die. And I even made a hashtag journey to 100, which I misspelled here, but hey, you get the picture. I do that because it keeps me focused that when things are not going right, when I'm not moving as fast as I think I want to be, the big picture keeps me sane, keeps me in the game, keeps me moving forward. Well, I don't know what that's going to be for you guys, but anything you do should be more than about money. Yes, it can be about family, but like, what then? What then? What then? Like, if the bigger your cause, the more people will gravitate towards you and think of you, because that is another level and layer to you that they really like or dislike. The point is, whatever it is, it's going to get people to think about you differently than all the other real estate agents, business people, whatever that they're looking for at that particular time. They think of you either fondly or not fondly. If they don't think of you at all, if they don't care about you, if you don't stand out in their head, that's the worst. It's better that they hate you or love you because you're still in their head, than if they don't even know who you are or care about anything about what you do. Like, you don't you're nothing to them, and nobody wants to be nothing, right? So you can dig into that here, and if you have questions about that, and no, after I kind of go through this, you can ask me. Um, what this stuff is just about building your tribe and how you do that. I kind of refer to it. Don't worry about making everybody happy. Make make yourself. I like to make myself laugh, and sometimes not other people don't find it funny, but I still do it because at the beginning of all this, it's like, what would make me smile, chuckle, laugh, and then I put that out, and then it's not going to make everybody happy. They're not all going to get it, but enough people appreciate that, and that's the value I add to their lives, that they think about me for other things. So yes, whenever they're looking for a property, how many times does a person buy a property in their life? Two, three times, right? Whenever they're thinking about that, they're going to think about me first before they go out to the broader world and say, hey, I'm looking for something. That's what you want. You want them to kind of think of you first, and not get offended if they don't, because that's just the way people work. But the more attention of theirs you have, or the fond remembrance they have of you, the more, when they're ready to make that purchase or do that transaction, they're going to think of you first, because they're always seeing you putting out value in a place. Hey, you're into cooking. Hey, here's a recipe from this one. Hey, I tried out this recipe. So what, you're a realist, you could be a realtor too, but putting out recipes and sharing about the, recipes you found, even something as simple as that will stick in your head more. So keep that in mind as you're kind of coming up with who you're going to be in the marketplace. Okay, so chapter 5 today was just about tools and tricks that you can use to in your branding. I don't have it here. I need to add it because it wasn't really a big thing, but Bitmoji was an app, and right now you probably, if you're on Facebook, you see how you can make the cartoon versions of yourself. So I would say use that because it does stand out in a stream like that, and you're able to screenshot stuff like that and put it on Instagram or other platforms. I would do it because it's really cool, colorful way of people getting to know you. A joke you found funny, a quote. You can do, if you ever want to go on my Facebook, you can see how I've just taken screenshots off of a Facebook thing that I did, or a quote, remix it with a colorful background, and then put it out to different places because it stands out versus somebody else's copy pasted or shared quote from somebody else. Yes, both work. I'm just saying this is how you want to stand out a little bit more. Um, Ripple was good to make little kind of like graphic and moving things. I think you got to pay for it now. So if there's a free version anymore, then I would say play with that, use that. That's pretty cool way of getting motion graphics. But there's a lot of apps you can get on your phone that will give you like Pixlr and some other ones that have like little moving titles and stuff that you can add that will juice up your when you do social media. It juices it up. You can also use it a lot of ways. Actually, Canva, and I talk about it. Yeah, there you go. Canva, you can do a lot of this stuff I'm talking about in Canva. You can make your own logo. You can do rough logos and then get a professional. Once you get it to a place that you kind of like it, you can say, hey, I want something like this, but I just want a new character, or I want it to look like this, or I like a different font. And then it's a lot easier for you to communicate that than it is to try to tell somebody, make me something from scratch, right? What's good about Canva is when you pick your brand colors, and those are important. I think I have a link here about brand colors somewhere in here. But I don't know if you've heard it or not, but blue, orange, those are colors of trust. Brown, red causes people to pause. Green is a good color to have. Yellow, energy, brightness. Who you are in the marketplace, you're going to want to pick two primary brand colors to play off each other. And Canva helps you kind of develop that and then keep it all in one place. So then you can, even the free version, you can go in there and always come back and say, well, these are my colors. So I want to make this background color and then something else or that background. But then it starts to help you with your Instagram, your Facebook, and all these other things that you're going to put out there to the world after obviously you've picked, um, you know, your nickname and your Gmail and your Facebook and your Instagram and your TikTok and all these other things. These help you keep it congruent and branded. So ultimately, like I said, it lends to your personal brand. Um, Meme makers, I mean, everybody loves memes. I mean, they're all over the place. If you want to make funny things, you can go on and use this app to make things you find funny. And the easiest thing you can do is find a joke, find a funny joke. I do this all the time. I come up with 25% maybe original content. A lot of it I'll remix from other jokes, like things I find funny or turns of phrase, whatever. Work on it for a second, say, okay, I would say it more like this and put it out there to get responses. Why do you do this? Because if you're always selling on social media, it's like, it's the worst. You should only be like 10% promoting your brand and 90% giving value to the marketplace, like entertaining, news about the market that you're in, but not just like random statistics, which people really can't attach to, like an observation about it, like how you would interpret it, and then a question. Say the market's like, oh, the Florida market is upside down, and then it's like, okay, so that's the article you share, and then you're like, well, in my personal experience, I'm seeing something, and you put in something that's specific to you and your observation, and then what do you think, and then people will start to engage with that versus just putting out a random article with no point of view and then expecting someone to like really value that. Your point of view is valuable to them too, so don't just post out articles and things without a point of view attached to them, right? Like, what made that significant to you? What observation? Are you agreeing with it or are you disagreeing with it? And then asking other people what they think. That's kind of like the 1-2 punch whenever you put something out there. To just share links, share point of view, share observations, share an alternative opinion. That's what people like to see, because then it gets them into a conversation versus just consuming information, right? iFunny is a good source for laughs. Um, Actually, another favorite app I have is called Reface, and you can do so many cool things with that, like movies you like. If you want to be in a Game of Thrones character, if you want to be dancing with Chris Brown, if you like anything you really like, inside there you can search and you can put your face on like funny memes, videos, stuff like that, and use that to entertain people too. Because like if you like Ace Ventura, you can put your face on Ace Ventura, and like, now you have an Ace Ventura little video that goes on. And you can do this with so many things. And Reface,
Hey, Jason, what reface? That's what it's called?
yeah, let me see. I'll see if I can show it to the screen. Face. Yeah, here is what it looks like. All right, well, this is what it looks like inside. I'm gonna try to find the emoji real quick. Um, it's like a black emoji with like two circles, if you can see that, but Reface, and that's really like a cool app to play around with, and like just you can have a lot of fun with that. Now there's a paid version of that, like a yearly paid version, which I paid for because if I like something, I'll pay for it. Like if it gives me value. But try out the free version. I think it lets you do a certain amount for free, and then it like times out, so you can't do so many like back to back to back. But you can go in there and have a lot of fun. So those are some ways to make you stand out. Obviously, using hashtags. If you're not aware, you can create your own and also leverage other hashtags on, especially like TikTok and Instagram, just finding people like that. Um, Also, this is brand new. It actually just came out this week. There's an app called Carly AI. I'm going to put it in the chat, where you can join Facebook groups and kind of put keywords in them and have searches. And it's a paid app, but I think you get like one thing free. So it's CARLI.ai, and I'm sharing it because I know the creator, and it's still early. So I mean, it's something to pay attention to if you want to start like searching for people having a conversation in Facebook groups about mortgages, wholesaler, deals in Tampa, like whatever the keywords you put in there, it'll search one group for free, and then if it has it installed, it has to get installed in the group. So if you own any groups, I would install this. I've installed it on some of my groups. If you're a part of any groups, you could try to convince the admin to install it, and it's kind of like if you've ever done Google what do they call it, Google Alerts. This is kind of like a Google Alerts but for Facebook, which is way more active and kind of updated. Google Alerts are kind of like just links, and you got to go and it's an article. It's like kind of a dead end. But inside of Facebook groups, if you get these alerts, you can jump in a conversation real quick and see what the conversation is about and reach out to people. So this could definitely, it was developed to create lead generation a lot more faster, efficiently for people who might not want to be good, might not be so good on the phone. They just always on social media, and they have they're maybe they're introverted a little bit and they're just really good on social media. You could go and like set up like a whole bunch of conversations off these alerts and generate business in a non-spammy way, as long as you know how to do that, where you get into a conversation with people, and then from if you add value to that conversation, they get to know, like, and trust you. Thus eventually you get into a talk about how you can work together. And that's usually the question, is like, how can we work together? Not, well, I do mortgages. Who cares? I'm not looking for a mortgage right now. How can we work together is way broader, because normally most people have multiple things that you could work together with. But if you're just hitting them with, I do mortgages or I sell real estate, like, you're already kind of shut the door on the rest of it, because they think, well, that's all he wants. How can I work with you is a better question, because it's kind of like, let them come up with a way instead of you. It's basically pull marketing versus push marketing. And that's kind of my 2 cents on that. So inside of this here, there are links to like a free, like the jab right hook link. I think it's a free version, and the 1,000 True Fans, that'll give you some insight. But yeah, that's this chapter. I think we went through it. I probably should redo and update this book, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And that would be chapter 5. So I know I hit you guys with a lot of stuff. Now's the time if you want to ask some questions, clarifications, opinions. Like, you got me for the next 20 minutes for that kind of stuff. So hit me with it.
Oh, yes, I had a question. All those apps you said are in the PowerPoint, in the ebook.
Yeah. All the links except for the Reface, which is not in there because it's kind of a new one, and Carly AI, which is the Facebook group one. That's literally just came out this week. But everything
Yeah.
else, everything else is in there. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see right here. You see these underlying links. They're all links to different stuff.
Gotcha.
You can download it. You can start looking and seeing what's like anything you see blue is a hyperlink, and that inside of the PDF.
Thank you.
Yep. Rodney, you got your microphone off. Did you have a question?
Yes, sir. First of all, I appreciate what you're doing here. I mean, you're not asking for no money out my pocket. I love that.
Hey, want to let me hold something?
But here's the thing. Marketing is what makes the money. If people don't know that you're out there, they have no way of contacting you. So when I look at, and why I'm so excited about, living here, I don't mean to offend anyone if you don't live in the United States, but the United States, you have the opportunity to do some great things, but you have to want to do, you got to want to change. So when I saw your book and I don't think I paid any money to download it, did I? But I mean, it's a great book, and I'm like, okay, it didn't cost money for the book. He's doing these seminars on Zoom for free. I, anything I can glean from you, man, I want to do it. But I had to jump on. I'm driving right now, and it took me a moment to connect with you. So I don't know if you, everybody else introduce themselves and explain what they do. So if people, if that was done, if you can do it again, I would appreciate it. Also, Jason, you said, well, you want people to know you, and then okay, if you have a service, then they will gravitate towards that service. So, what do you do?
See, you see, you just basically explain exactly how a person should approach this whole thing. Do a whole bunch of things to the point where somebody's going to be like, what do you do so I can figure out how I can work with you? Like that right there is called
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
pull marketing, right? So I do a lot of things. I do consulting with small businesses. I do a show where I interview dad entrepreneurs, work and family life. Because obviously, as you guys got to see, navigating that and trying to have a business is like crazy, but I manage it. And the cool thing about that is my audience also gets that. Because most of the audiences are dad entrepreneurs, so they know about kids interrupting. They know about just the craziness of family life, right? So that was intentional, and I just do that like every Tuesday night. But if you're asking like what do I do as a business, other than invest in real estate here and there, um, I run Facebook groups. I'm actually creating an app for, of all things, trash. It's like an Uber for trash, and I came up with that idea from being an Airbnb, a host of over 25 units at one point, and having a lot of problems with trash. So what turned into like a problem that I needed to solve for myself is turning into something that could potentially change the world if we do it right. So I'm in the tech world now. I'm a co-founder in this company, and I'm also helping other people who might have a great tech idea but don't know where to start, how to get to the point where somebody can say, yeah, that's a business. And then we joint venture with you and become co-founders with you. And I do that with a company called Sela Labs, are actually my technical co-founders. And all I do is like, I help problem solve to the point where it's like, okay, that's a business versus, nah, that's already out there in the world. And it's probably not that unique where it really, maybe you could keep working on it, or it's like either keep working on it or um it already exists, or let's keep let's let's work together. So that's kind of where I'm at. I put that link inside the chat as well if you guys want to just click that. And basically the offer is like if you have a big tech idea, you'll go to one website, which is there's just two buttons there. You either go to the one or the other. The other one is if you have a young person who wants to become a tech entrepreneur and learn how to either make their own idea or work for a company like that, and then have an opportunity. And if they're good, then they end up being hired. That's the other button. And pretty much all my focus, other than this kind of stuff, helping the Alchemist Nation, uh, all the other things I do, like that's kind of my main focus, because my thing with that is if I can help create 100 millionaires in tech companies with their 10 companies, of those millionaires, a good portion of them are going to be fathers. Now they're probably going to be in a position where they're financially able to do something like adoption. And then I want to be able to help them through that process. Like I've been able to help a couple of other people where like, hey, here's what you do, here's how you take this, here's how you navigate that, where they actually take the step and adopt a child from the foster system. So that's where all this is headed. But thank you for asking. The link is in there, and I'm available for like all this kind of stuff. It's just that's where my specialty lies now. However, I do have a lot of experience in the real estate investing world, and in in the branding world, because that's how I got good at real estate, was being branded to the point where you know people would like, I seen that guy, I heard of that guy, because it was such a weird little nickname. You know what I mean? So yeah, that hopefully that answers your question.
Jason, and this is my take, and a lot of people might take it that I don't know, that I'm a person that's negative, but I truly kind of look at people for who they are. I mean, we are narcissistic. We think, you know, gravitate towards ourselves. We live in our own little bubble, and to get people inside our circle requires that we have to reach outside of our circle. And so, uh, with what I do is with the PSR Heritage Society, is when I talk to people, most people say that their faith, their family, their friends, that's the most important thing in life. You know, money is important. It's definitely relevant. But if you don't have a strong faith, if you don't have your family, your friends, what is life is all about. So my focus is on reaching out to people, collaborating, talking with people to really elevate one another, to lift each other up. So I know one lady, she said she was getting into real estate, but I didn't hear from the other people.
Mark and Juan. Okay. Um, which one of you guys want to go first, Mark or Juan?
Yes, I'll go first. So what I'm trying to get into is into running a media company. Um, that's what I'm trying to uh, create for myself, and that's what I'm trying to brand. It's mostly like a media company based on like self help, like improving your values, shifting your mindset. So that's what I'm
So
trying to.
when you say media, you're not talking about making music. You're talking about, or entertainment. You're talking more like what?
Medias in like maybe like a podcast or like a books or a show, like something of the sort like that.
Why are you avoiding video though? Because that's like the one thing that everybody needs and wants right now.
Video, yeah, I mean, I do want to try doing video too. I don't have very good video skills, so I do want to try that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need them. You just need to go hire people off of. You gotta just have you have your framework, and then you can hire. Because listen, I know how to edit video, but I shouldn't be editing video because it takes too long for me. And if you're a if you're a business owner, there's people you can pay to do that less than what you should be doing, which is acquiring clients. So you can go on uh there's any number of like not crowdsourcing, virtual hiring sites where you can go on and hire people. Like I said, Fiverr's one of them. You can hire a video editor off of that and test them out small, like on Fiverr. I forgot there's some of the other names, but they're like on the tip of my tongue. But you find these people, you test them out with small jobs, and then once they prove themselves, then you hire for bigger jobs. And then for little small video projects, you could even do stuff like that on your phone. It just depends on what you're really trying to put out there. What is the name of your media company, or how do you want that to be? Have you even thought of that?
No, I haven't thought of a name yet, so I'm still working out all the market research, trying to see where the market is, trying to figure out what I should brand myself as, who is my target, like just trying to figure all that stuff out before I actually put it on paper.
What made you decide that that was going to be the way you wanted to go?
Well, it's really something that I enjoy doing and talking about. It's like one of like my passions, so it's something that I enjoy really doing.
I got a cool name for you, and it's pretty. To me, it would stand out because it's kind of funny. You should call it one more time, and then that makes people want to hear whatever the next thing is one more time, and it just
Nice.
sticks in your head, and you're like, okay, one more time, media or whatever. But the point is like I'm back. I'm coming back one more time, and like you could just like that could just be the way you start and
That is
start things
funny. Yeah,
off.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it just helps you to kind of like, it gives you a, you know, because the world is full of choices. It gives you one less choice to make, and it rolls off the tongue. And I doubt anybody's taken that yet. You might even catch a .com, a YouTube, or a Gmail, and all the other things I talk about getting. So try it. Um, Anything that's a play off your name is always good because, you know, now anybody they know with that name, they're thinking of you first. Believe it or not, anytime it's gonna, trust me, it's like a virus. It sticks in your head, and you're like, oh my god, now I can't forget that, and that's what you want. So,
Mhm.
hey, there's a start. Hopefully that like starts you down the path, and then figure out. You said you're passionate about it. Just figure out the one or two things that you're most passionate about, and I'm gonna tell you right now, like it definitely has to be video. And inside of that, like, you know, short 30 to 20 to 60 second pieces that you can, you know, use for media because of YouTube shorts and Instagram stories and Facebook stories and stuff like that. They're all limited to like 20 seconds to 1 minute. So if you can start to just focus on those little pieces right there, that will help people. It's nice, it's small, it's concise, and you get one point across, and that's really all you're supposed to do. And then just, rather than trying to make long form, because that's where it gets expensive and complicated and it takes a long time. So I mean, if I were you, that's kind of, I come from that world way long ago. So I would say kind of focus on the really short 15 to 60 second video bites and really specialize in that and make people want to see everything you put out there one more time. You know, that's your specialty. I make everybody want to see whatever I put out there one more time and one more time and one more time and one more time. Make your little song, a little thing about it. It's just play with that. I mean, I think with a couple $100, you could pretty much brand yourself with that and go hard and start to just get clients, and then find the people to do the video editing on Fiverr or on one what is this something desk, Odesk. There you go, Odesk, or one of these other ones, and just, you know, hire that stuff out and just be the art director to all of it. Like, you know what you like, you just tell them, I want a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Give it known for that. Start simple and go out from there. That would be my advice.
Got it. Yeah, that's pretty good advice. Thank you.
Mark, did you want to get anything in?
No, I think I'm good. I mean, like I said, I got a number of different businesses from startups, real estate, and investing. So um, I think what you covered here, that was fantastic. I love it. One more time, absolutely great.
How about for you? Mark my words.
Hey,
You can like start all your posts with that, and like it could just be like, you know, they're like, it shows confidence in whatever you're sharing. So your opinion has just a little bit more weight than a normal person's opinion. And obviously you got to be careful with that because it's powerful, and people are obviously going to rub the wrong way or try to prove you wrong, and that's actually part of the game. But if you're in a game, and you got to treat all of this as a game, is like all business is a game. It's like, okay, now you gave me something. How can I give you something? And then let's see if the other person keeps playing the game. Okay, now you gave me something. How can I give you something? And a friend and mentor of mine kind of put that in my head yesterday. Like, you know, it is exactly like that. It's like, let's see how long we can keep this game going. You throw the ball at them, let's see if they return it. And they return it. You throw the ball back at them. Let's see if they return it. And you play that game as long as humanly possible, and treat it like a game and never take it personal. Just see in your head, how long can I keep this game up? Maybe even make a little scorecard on people and just be like, we did we passed the ball back and forth 42 times. And in your head, maybe you're like, I just want to see who becomes the leader of this in my life. And again, it's another game. It's like a counting game for you, your own personal thing. So um yeah, I mean, hopefully that also gives you guys some insight of you're treating all this like it's a game versus it's something you get to do, not that you have to do. You get to do it. You enjoy it. It's a privilege to do this stuff. Once you start thinking of it like that, it's a lot less work and it's a lot more fun. So Yeah, mark my words, you should do that.
I like it. No, that's listen to 52 weeks, and I might pull that out at some point. Hey, quick question though, as far as tools like Hootsuite or something like that to manage social media posts, do you use that or something similar?
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find something for you. It's Get Woofy, right? It's real cheap. I think you can pay like one time, like 150 bucks. Let me make sure that's the right one. Hold on. Because I like that one. I haven't really used it yet, but everything's in there and a lot of training documents.
Yeah, Hootsuite has a free version that gives you, I think, you can do 3 channels. I haven't played around with it a lot, but you said it's Get Woofy or something like that?
Let me, I got, I'm just, I'm looking for it now. Hold on. Hello Woofy. There you go. So it's that let me see. It's hello Woofy app. Yeah, hellowoofy.com will get you there. And then they have the packages there. But I mean, go through and look at all what it has, and they're like, they're tutorial videos. There's a lot of free stuff in there. It's pretty cool. I think it might only be 50 bucks like forever or a year. So, definitely cheaper than Hootsuite. And I think there's a lot more to it in there.
Yeah, nice. I'll check that out.
Okay. I see you, Rick. I was thinking about you today. Rick, by the way, Rick is in real estate too, but he's the casket guy. He can get you, believe it or not, caskets to be buried in for like 30, well, at least 50% off. I don't want to mess up his margins, but yeah, I was listening to something this morning and it was talking about the whole funeral business. And I was like, dang, I might have to hit Rick up and try to partner with him on this. But anyway, so yeah, guys, it's 12. I gotta split, gotta get back to the family stuff. Appreciate you guys showing up. I put out there the 52 weeks thing with Galter. You guys are all invited to. That's every Saturday at 10. It's really valuable. When I'm tapping, I always learn something. And yeah, I mean, this is also more free value for you guys. Hopefully when you're getting money and when you're making money, this is how you keep that from going out of your pocket so quickly. So yeah, I'm glad you guys showed up today, and I hope to see you on the next one. And if you have any questions, you can reach me on Facebook, find me. You can look up the Dad Next Door. You'll probably on social media, the Dad Next Door. You'll find me pretty much everywhere with that one, except LinkedIn because they don't let me do that there. But everywhere else, it's Dad Next Door. And then on LinkedIn, it'll be Jason Centeno. So if you want, hit me up. Facebook is probably the best. Instagram next, and then all these other ways you can find me. So if you need anything, hit me up, and we'll go from there. All right. Talk to you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right, guys, man. Have a great day.
Yep. Thanks.
All right.